order. Mr. Kaysen should be in any minute, but let's start. It's 5:40 p.m., March the 19th.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Castro,
Here.
Ms. Centeno Rosa,
Here.
Mr. Avila,
Present?
Mr. Geisler,
Here.
Mr. Kazin, but he should be on his way,
Yes.
and Mr. Sanchez.
Here.
You do have a quorum.
Okay, we constitute a quorum, we can start a meeting. Next item, we have the minutes. I've gone over the minutes. I couldn't find a mistake on the minutes, so I'm in order.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of last month.
Second.
Big moved in second, to approve the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against? Let's take it. The next item is staff reports and communications. Ridership report. Ridership report. I'm sorry. I forgot to say the pledge of allegiance. Okay. Mr. Sanchez, would you like to do the pledge of allegiance for us?
North side.
Nine flag.
North flag.
Nine flag.
The clock, it's all about the clock.
Thank you.
I pledge
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I will say a little prayer. May the Lord guide us to do the best that we can in the best interest of our community. Lord bless us.
Amen.
Amen. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'll go real quick over the reports.
Yes,
For
sir.
the cancellations for the month of February, we had a total of 586. Of those 586, there was 455 cancellations. 24 hours in advance, we had 133, and late cancellations, 322. No-shows, we had 110. And we had, the most highest is the cancel at the door, where customers cancel when the van gets there. There's 75 trips that were canceled at the door. And then for customers that canceled through our phone system, it was a total of 28 for the month of February. The end of the month registered customers, we have been successful in renewing the customers. We had a total of 25 renewals for the month and 7 new registered clients. We have a total of 1,192 registered customers right now. For the mobility report, we have a total of 45 wheelchair trips for the month of February, and a total of 173 wheelchair passengers. The ridership did decline for the month of February compared to last year. We're at 3631 compared to last year, 3781.
Do you know why it's declining? Well, I know we've had a lot of deaths also.
Yes, and the reason could also be because most of the customers that we used to have that would go to school, they have already graduated from college, from the university as well. And then the dialysis customers,
Many have passed away.
yes.
Mhm.
And then also, some of them are finding rides, finding their way back home from family members.
One thing I have noticed, and it's nothing against no one, the fact that you call and they don't answer. At the dispatching, they don't answer. You take 3-4 calls before you get an answer. Maybe because they're too busy, which I assume.
That they're making appointments while we have 2 to 3 dispatchers at all times during the day from 8 to 5.
Yeah.
After 5, we have 2
Two.
and then 1 dispatcher. As far as them not answering, we do have complaints sometimes. I really haven't gotten complaints of us not answering the phone. Sometimes customers do tend to call the 795-2280 and they don't get any answer there. So sometimes they do get it confused, and there's no answer there for whatever reason. So when the customer does call, and by the time they do call the 3rd floor at the transit center, they're already upset. So they usually transfer the call to me, and I'll talk to the customer and explain to him that they were calling the wrong number. But we can monitor that for the agents to answer the phone. There is a way where we can not make them, but hopefully they can answer by 3 rings.
Okay. After the third hearing,
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mr. Chairman is here. I'll transfer the meeting back to you, sir.
Thank you.
I don't get it there.
Welcome.
Thank you. I was using language I haven't used in a long time. Unfortunately, I got caught by that same train that you were.
I told you.
Yeah. So,
You're excused, don't worry.
well, thank you.
We are down to letter C on the end of the report, register customers. We'll go to review all that.
Oh, excellent.
And we have the revenue report, breakdown, a report. That's what we're out. That's where we're gonna start with you, sir.
With me.
Letter F.
Letter F. I can bring my glasses, so I'll take your word for it. We'll go on with, thank you.
I'm not so blind, but
No, that's good. I can see now.
the bifocals anyway.
Those are like a 150, 175.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
that's 275.
Ah, no wonder. I see now.
Hello.
Hello, hi. Oh, when did you all get here? All right, if we want to move on to, you said F?
Yes, sir.
The revenue report.
Mm-hmm.
For the revenue report, we are under budget. We have total expenses for the operations and administrative and maintenance. We had a total of 28,000. For our expenses was 11,000, and we still have a balance of 16,000 for the month.
And that's for the month, not necessarily for the year.
It's not for the year, yes, it's
Yes.
just
For the
per month.
month.
And so we still have money left over from fuel for our personnel and the information technology, which is good.
Yes.
We have money. We're under budget,
Running in the black is always good.
yes.
Thank you. Any questions on revenue? The maintenance report.
For the maintenance report, the miles traveled for February 2019 was a total of 23,190, and this includes all the lift bands. Our PMs were done 100%. Road calls, we didn't have any road calls for the month of February. And, well, obviously, we didn't have any miles between road calls, so that's a 0. And Ms. Soto can go over the revenue for the buses for the fixed route. You don't have your glasses. Okay, so we traveled a total of 133 miles for all the fixed route buses. 133? 133? Whoa! I'm like estimating. 133, 317. So we did have, the miles between road calls was 127,000. And what else? The miles between road calls for lift was 6,229.
That was,
But that's just for the lifts or what?
So the fixed route? There's a
Fixed
little-
route, yeah.
I think the fixed route, well, I guess on the fixed route, the main question I guess I would have is we didn't have any mechanical failures, right? Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on, let me see if I can read this,
Oh, the wheelchair report.
the wheelchair
Yeah.
boardings. We had a total of 66, but we only did it for that week. That report was, given to me and Gustavo. For the month, for March 1st through the 8th, we had a total of 66 wheelchair passengers. And that's on all the routes. If you see right here, it's all routes from 1 to 20. It's Route 1, Route 2, Route 3, Route 4, Route 5.
Now, on this, I guess since we're just starting to recapture this data and run this report, we don't have enough yet to project out to whether or not to say that we are getting more use out of fixed route.
I guess we don't have anything to compare it to.
No, because we don't have the info from, because we
Unless-
just started collecting it on the GFI, so we wouldn't have like last year's info.
I know that right before when we used to do it, it was like 100 and some for a
Right.
month.
Right,
This is 66
66.
for a week.
which is, if we
We can-
project
when-
out, I
When
mean,
did you start?
Yeah, if you get an average,
122.
If you go with that number.
122, that's
because I mean, it's the same ridership.
That's 244 a
Like
month.
there's no way
Right.
compared to like last year.
and then the 244.
No, not last year, but
we
we
don't
can
have a
print
way
out
of
the reports
capturing-
for
No,
December,
because
January,
this was
February.
actually a key that we just added to the fare box.
Okay.
En vez de que ellos hablen, no, picked up a wheelchair or whatever, they just hit the key. And
Okay.
that's how we get this report,
Ah,
for
okay.
the GFI.
But for the next meeting, we can't print, we could print January, February, and March for you.
If we could, just so that we can see that hopefully more and more people are, you know, using what we do have that's available to
Right.
them.
Yes.
You know, and hopefully, if they need to use one or the other, they know how that they can use it. Yeah.
What?
Excellent, thank you.
What else? I think that's it on the reports.
I guess the main thing that was, I guess, for today's meeting was like the discussion on the cost of the vans. I mean, well, letter A is first. I mean, the adding fire transit vehicles to future parades. I did discuss it with Ms. Daniel before we got there, and it's because there's a lot of strict rules now with FTA that really won't allow us to use vehicles like for parades or stuff like
So the
that.
vehicle that, like, for
Like
instance,
to put like a lift van with an admitted driver, take them in there, like there's our super strict guidelines as to anything of that nature.
FTA is getting stricter and stricter on everything that you can do, yeah.
is there any way that, I guess you couldn't even put it under advertising or anything to try and let people know that it's out there a little bit more? I guess the same would apply also to that trolley that we have? Okay.
I don't know if it was with FTA.
It's a
or-
bus with a trolley. It looks like a trolley.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be different, like, it depends
Maybe it
on
was-
how we got the vehicle.
Yeah.
How the vehicle was funded. Like if it was funded through FTA grants, then we
We
follow
can't.
those guidelines. But let's say council were to buy a van, it
Yeah,
doesn't
they
follow
follow.
the FTA guidelines.
Have we bought one yet or no? Because we're still gonna work on that, right?
Yes.
But we're gonna call them up.
If we get the right amount of, you got the number?
Yeah.
See, I get to the report,
Because
it's
it's
the last
103,000
pages.
is what y'all, it's basically what y'all are saying. so.
Yes, it's on the last 2 pages of the reports. Usually a little draft summary Ms. Daniel provided for us together with the cost. So I guess the estimated cost per van is actually 103,600. Mr. Joe Jackson got that for us since he's the one usually ordering, working on those
Including
numbers.
cameras, including camera boxes.
Well, that's
radio.
including everything? So
Ready to go.
that's finished out.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not a bad price. If it's everything, that's it.
103.6,
Yes,
that's
with everything.
with everything. So we divide that in between, excuse me for interrupting, but if we divide that 103,600 out of the discretionary funds per se of the councilman, how much would we be looking at if we got 16 players here?
Let me add on to that. Yeah, I was
Okay.
back and forth. This is proof of email with the city council members. It was 3 of them, and also with Miss Christina Lara. I'm sorry. And we were going back and forth since February the 26th, and they were looking into speaking to legal first, and then they went into finance. So they already said that they already gave me the green light that they can use the discretionary funds for that.
Excellent.
And Rudy Gonzalez Jr. doesn't, and Vidal and Albert Torres are the 3 that I spoke to, and saying if they could make this possible to help us out. And they were saying that, yeah, they're just gonna look into dividing it by 8 as you were.
Yeah, because I had already spoken to Mercurio, and Mercurio said he didn't have a problem as long as legal gave them
Mhm.
the green light of go ahead, that he doesn't mind, but then again, we would divide it upon
Yeah.
the 8 councilmen,
Yeah.
at least to purchase one,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah. Because at first they were like, I don't have them, I don't have 103.
Yeah.
I don't know, not individually, I'm saying. At a larger scale, dividing it, yeah, sharing, I use the word
Well, we
sharing.
go, actually, we should go 9, we should get, because the mayor
The
has
mayor,
discretionary
yeah, that's
funds
true.
also.
Yeah.
So we could go 9 people there.
So if it's 9, then it's just a little over,
About 11,000,
yeah, a
12,000.
little over 10,000.
It won't be that much.
For one, but how many vans do we need?
So we
Is it
Well,
20?
I mean, if we can get,
One every one.
if we can get one, I think we'll be hitting a home run,
We'll be doing
to
good.
be honest. Because I don't think they're gonna wanna square up and say, well, here goes 40,000 from my budget. That's just, I mean,
Too much.
you know, they're just gonna say no. And I
They've
mean, the money's there.
they've done it for bus stops.
But that, I think that was one council
But they put the
member.
advertising there.
Well, I think I'll get the 80.
80? Okay.
If they were to
And then
fund
25
two
and
vans,
30,
that would be
something like
12,000
Wow.
each council member.
That's not
That
bad.
doesn't sound
To
bad.
fund two vans.
But that wouldn't be right, because
That's
two
not bad.
vans is 206.
Well,
No,
because
that's
it's
wrong.
9.
206
Well,
divided by
Divided by 9?
103,
Times
600.
2,
Yeah, it's
times
11,000.
divided by 9,
Well, I rounded it up.
23.
No, 23.
Guys, I go up there.
Well, 23.
23, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 vans.
I see the.
That still doesn't sound bad. I mean, and excuse my,
And maybe in 2
I'm getting
parts.
off track, they use the money to go on this, fancy, you know,
No, they use it for sidewalks.
and that's another one, and then they use it to put their own cars in there that they don't fit. You know, I saw the expenditure on that, then they surely can, you know,
Maybe even 2 parts, start off with 1,
yeah.
Yeah.
try to get the other one.
The other thing was, in order to make this possible, they said that we had to use it as a city council agenda item.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you would have
Yeah,
to.
It has to go before the city council.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
So then it would be as a pack.
Mhm.
As a pack group.
That would be
Headed
good
by the
though.
chair.
That
Have
would
you
be
ever
good.
thought of going to the
Public
private
votes, I don't
sector?
Just tell us when,
I don't know if
it'll be the agenda.
What day?
I think
Accept it from a
one of
private
the
sector?
council members has to put it in the agenda and then
You could
say
do it from
that
a
it
private
was
sector, let's
sponsored,
say,
that it's recommended by the PAC
By the
committee.
PAC.
Let's say the Laredo Manufacturing
Because it couldn't be coming
Association
from
decided,
us.
hey,
No.
we wanna
It
go.
Yeah,
had to be an
conflict of
agenda,
interest.
agenda item from your council member and
Would you
then
allow-
We actually could accept it.
recommended by.
Or maybe the 3
And then-
councilmen that already
It
said,
would
you know,
actually-
yes.
It would have to be.
Maybe the 3 can
done a
put it in
certain
the
way. We
agenda.
have to
Those
gift
3,
it
and
to-
then we
would
provide
have
the
to
minutes
accept
for
it.
this meeting
Mhm.
that you all are
Like you did
recommending
to-
to take it to city council and all that.
Something like that.
They just wanted to know if the other ones are in accordance with that.
So I
answer.
guess-
Well, Mercurio's fine with it.
Okay, so that's.
Mercurio's fine with it. I already spoke to him. I spoke to
Albert's
him the
fine
same
with it.
day
Yeah,
we
but I
left from
spoke to
here.
Albert también. He said, no, it's okay, yeah, whatever you guys need. So he just said, what are the other
Those are
council members
your
saying
councilmen.
though?
Albert?
Albert?
Well, but I think that what you've done is, the other council members are not gonna wanna be embarrassed.
Yeah.
They're gonna go along.
Let's see who gives them up.
We could have.
Well, I know the vans are very nice. They're very, very nice.
Well, the thing is that we need to come up to speed, you know, we want to improve and we want to look nice here in the city of Laredo, and you go downtown area, you get scared, it looks like you're going to a ghost town.
Because there's 9.
I
There's a
mean,
lot more buildings, a lot more.
And there's
so many
There's-
stores closed downtown Laredo that it's pitiful. Pitiful. I went across the border and my daughter tells me, mi hija me dice, Dad, Laredo's looking better than Laredo. They go, thanks.
Yeah, it's 1,207.
Well, hopefully we can.
If they could I was just saying, and I called Mr. Bobby, I said, can't you just get them at least to paint up the buildings? I mean, they look like they've been there for years and years and not even a paint job. It looks a deserted place.
It's the
Sorry,
party on-
we're not attracting, we're,
I
estamos asustando a la gente.
It all depends on what's on the code, the ordinances, the code ordinance.
They need to look into it, honestly.
They do have that in there.
No, well, it's the outlet mall has cut into the guys that used to be the wholesalers on Concord and
downtown.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
And that competition is getting to them, but
Killing them.
And what's gonna
I
happen
need
with
to
the,
be there, and in that area, they've already had 17 new businesses open up. But it's clubs, it's tapas bar, look at what
Sit down,
Sames has done with,
Have you all been to that Lopez?
Yes, Casa Lopez,
Casa Lopez?
it's nice.
I really liked what they did there
It's
because
nice.
I went there and from
Expensive.
the outside, it looked rustic. And when you walk inside,
Gives you a
wow.
different view.
pero ¿qué es?
It's a flamingo type of bar.
tapas.
And
Spanish.
it caters to that Spanish cuisine. I
Espanol.
really didn't care too much for this cuisine, but I was really amazed by the
Did you like the prices though?
The prices were not that bad, you know, I didn't think so. You know, you walk into a place like that, it brings something different. You know, it goes back to the history of Laredo,
Yes.
the Seven Flags, you know?
Mhm.
And that's something Laredo should go after. You know, the outlet malls, I think was the worst thing that we ever got involved into, for one reason. They did something wrong. The problem is, the people that are come to shop here, they're looking for bargains. And that place doesn't give you bargains. You know, it's wasted. You know, we have history in Laredo. That's what they did there, was something right, because you're bringing something of the culture that settled Laredo. You have the Spanish, you get to have the French. San Antonio is doing the same thing. They're putting money into the inner cities by developing the lost buildings, restructuring, bringing out the architectural designs. You know, that's what they have to
Yeah.
do.
But,
You know? But we're forgetting about that. We're forgetting about the history of Laredo, in essence, because we want to do something different. The idea is to go back and let's bring back Laredo, but that also let's have the people that own the property standing up on the end.
listen, we've been fighting with the county over doing the Veterans Museum at the old Francisco Farias property. And it's been like pulling teeth.
Wow.
But also, the city is also the four Placitas where I-35. That's a done deal now. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And the younger now, you can live downtown. Before you couldn't live like in the Crest Building.
Right.
Now, if you wanna make a loft, you can live. So poco a poco. And if we have good public transportation,
It'll be better.
that's where they're going. My grandkids, they don't like cars. They want to live places where you don't have to drive. They're in Dallas, they're in San Antonio, and they're living in the inner city there. Anyway,
No, this is all good, and you're absolutely right. We can do our little part by trying to improve our
Like
transit
what you were
services.
saying earlier, Mr.
Yeah.
Castro, before we started. You know, maybe what we had thought some years back, Mr. Casey, you recall, maybe a trolley across the border, across the border.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
You
something
know, up to
that
the Mercado
Yeah.
and back, you know, I think that'd be a nice ride for anyone. Get up there, be there an hour or two, and it won't be as dangerous as driving in your car. That's what I
You're
would
talking about
think.
back when we had los buses, autobuses verdes que venían de Alfredo Santos and then,
We had the Internacional that would cross you all the way.
yeah, I remember that.
Well,
That was a while back.
Era nomás el autobús.
the owner just died. What was his name? Rodrigo Romo. He
It
just
brings a
passed
message,
away.
because you said something about wanting to bring back the livelihood of Laredo and Laredo
Yeah.
by having that transit, that a lot of shoppers or a lot of tourists don't go to Laredo because of the bad stigma. And you cannot close your eyes, because there is violence happening in Laredo.
Yeah.
We're seeing it.
But that's if you look for it. I
If you
just
look for it,
walked,
it's right.
I just walked on Sunday and I posted on my Facebook page. I walked all the way from El Rancho Majestar, me and my daughter, we walked all the way back to the bridge. We went to the Mercado, we went here, we went there. We were eating there at El Rancho. I mean, oh my God, todos estamos como estamos, but I mean, honestly, you know,
But see, that's
you
the
look
story.
for it, you're gonna
If you
find
look
it.
for it, you'll find it. But the idea is that if Laredo and Laredo come together and provide a safe haven.
And we can
And the
make.
reason why I say this, because we're getting up in age, I speak for myself, is that dentists, pharmaceutical supplies, a lot cheaper there. We gotta take a page.
Medicines are much
Yeah,
better.
Progreso, a little town out of McAllen, close in that area. Is that the same as a little town?
Progreso.
Progreso?
And that's what people do. We need to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's true, it's true.
Yeah.
I had to get an inhaler. The cheapest I could find it on this side was $510. I went across the river and I got it for $35.
Yeah.
Same company, same
The
box.
same thing. The only thing,
No, same company,
exact same
same ingredients.
you know what, the only problem is that FDA does not approve it over there. That's the only problem. But that doesn't matter, you know, really.
I have other pills that were $198 for the script,
I did the
under
same thing.
$10.
I was paying 209 for my diabetes pill. And I have a friend that's a doctor from Mexico that lives here. He got it for me for $50. I mean, more than, I saved more than half. That makes a big difference. The inhalers, I was paying $108, almost $200 for one. I got it over there for $40.
$30, $30.
You know, so I mean, that makes a big difference.
Well, that's what we need to look at for healthcare.
Yeah. You know, by promoting, maybe we can do it.
We can do something good for us and for them.
Yeah.
That would be ideal, you know?
And
work a
then we
relationship.
gotta give the mayor and the mayor of Nuevo Laredo, I mean, he went with the city delegation to DC, so they're trying. I'll give them that,
They're trying to work together.
yeah. I'll give them
So if
that.
they're trying, why can't we help somewhere?
Apparently, my phone is on this binational thing because apparently I'm in Mexico now. According to this, yes, I'm in Mexico.
Agarra la red de tercero.
So,
Yeah, and just real quick, so we are in agreement that we proceed with trying to get the council members?
Yes.
Okay.
We need a motion?
would it be good, would it be better, instead of just a motion, okay, we're gonna do it? You guys wanna make sure, just mention it to them? Shoot me an email and then,
And ask,
make sure they're on, I mean, they might be on board, but maybe just not right now, and.
But as long as there is already 3 council members that,
They can put it
you're
on the
making a
agenda.
motion to put, for the council members to put it on the
The
agenda.
agenda.
It's up to the other rest to decide that at the city council meeting, whether or
That's
not they want
Whether
to
they wanna
provide the
pitch in or not.
funding.
We would be
Exactly.
more
So,
than
yeah.
willing to be there as the,
Representing,
yeah, representing, but also as, to give
Advocates,
background
yeah.
and advocates and
Yeah,
all
they're
that.
gonna start asking questions.
Exactly.
and we'll have all that background, because I'm sure they're gonna ask you also, whatever they tell you, Mr. Sanchez, whatever information they're requesting, we can be ready and prepared during that city council meeting.
I make a motion that we continue forward with this, trying to get commitment from the councilmen so we can purchase new vehicles.
I second the motion.
So.
A motion to recommend, to put it in the next,
In the
On the next
agenda.
one.
Putting the item on,
the city council agenda,
Yes.
okay.
and to continue looking and feeling out the council members for support.
Yep.
Okay, excellent.
and also, if I may,
Yes.
if we have, and you guys might know it better, but if we have some users that are articulate, that maybe we could,
Have them on at the meeting?
at the meeting,
Okay.
in the wheelchair, and
Yeah.
give a few kudos about how this helps them out.
Excellent idea.
Yes,
Excellent
Centeno.
idea.
yes.
You can be one of our,
Yeah, I'm one of your participants, you
Yes.
know, in the program. I use the van, so. And I can really attest
but I
to it.
would do that, Mr. Kaiser.
Because that would kind of give us a lift, you know, that it's
No pun
something we need.
Just, I know I have to leave because they're already calling me back, but one quick question. Once the students graduate from high school per se, that we take high school students, is that correct? Do we follow them through see if we need to still transport them into TAMU or LC now it's renamed? Do we still follow through once they graduate from high school to see if we can still keep servicing them?
I don't see.
For
right now.
paratransit,
Mhm.
as long as they keep renewing their
They stay
services, they'll be
active.
able to use
You,
it.
you
And they
renew
can
your
use the fixed
application, you
route
have the
also.
services.
Mhm.
Just, and I'm glad everybody's on the same page, just for one reason. There's a gentleman, and I don't know, well, I shouldn't probably bring the name
Yes,
out.
uh-huh.
But anyhow, he was under the impression that because he finished school, that he couldn't use the services anymore because the service was to provide him to school and back.
Well, probably because the school is paying for his, for the
For his
public
transportation?
transportation, that's probably why he said he was under the impression that he will no longer be able
There
to
you go.
use that. But he can continue using our services as long
Was that
as,
left as public transportation
For anyone.
probably because the school is
Because
paying for
probably
it.
so, and I didn't get that from him, so that's probably what it is.
But as long as he has a service and he keeps renewing it, he can use our services. Yes.
Guys, it's a pleasure, but I gotta get
Just real
back to
quick,
work.
any other
I need to
discussion?
do-
If
oh,
not, we can
okay.
do the vote real quick, if you can stay for 30
Sure,
seconds.
sure.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, it's unanimous between the 6 of us. Okay, anything, no executive session or anything?
That would be actually the last report. That was
All right.
actually, I know, the main thing for today.
That was it, okay. Any questions, anything else that we need to bring up?
I would like to look into, see if we can revise that trolley into Mexico.
Or maybe we need to put something in the agenda, where we can do it in a new business.
Yeah, new business for the next.
For the next
agenda.
Next agenda that we have, for the next meeting. Yes?
Find some-
Motion?
Is there a motion?
I,
Second.
Motion, yeah.
There's a motion and a second. All, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I was inhaling too much train.
where were you, Mr. Casey?
The train had him stuck.
What did the train do?
Thank you,
Let's
Mr.
just say I
Sanchez,
used the
for
language that I hadn't used in a
reaching out.
That was a big help. That helped us out a lot. It really did.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, I have
Thank you
to
all.
be excused.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you
I
made
gotta
it
get back to
before me.
work.
Yes, that's what I get. I said, no, I'll get there
For me in
before
about
you.
10 minutes.
No. El trenecito. Is there, that's it, right? Is there anything else?
We'll follow up once we do we know when we're gonna be putting the agenda, and then so y'all can be present at that meeting as well.
At the meeting, so we can make the
Yes.
impact, and then we can get some of the
The riders,
users with,
uh-huh.
and the riders in wheelchairs. I
Yes,
think that'd be great. Like Mr., what's his name, Ray, the teacher at the Sierra.
yes,
And I grow my hair.
Mr. Gupta
Diet is,
also.
our longtime riders.
Yes, the longtime riders, right.
Okay, I will
Okay.
do that, Ms. Centeno.
Do we move that we adjourn? So move.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
I,
All right.
thank God we had a meeting.